Now, third and final time, 126 for this man, along with Kg Snatch of China, the youngest at 22. Two Chinese lifters involved, or they will be shortly. Much better.
Bags of power, corrected the mistake.
So 126.
27 kilos on the bar, please. Adrian Gigal, Romania, first attempt.
And it'll be Romania in the shape and form of Adrian Gigal. Interesting Gigal for me, David, because he's a man who sort of flitted a
solid at 62 kilos. A lot more comfortable. I think the 56 is just it's too light for him. He's got to work too hard to get the weight down, and it used to affect his performance quite badly.
Second in the World Championships in Vancouver, but that was in 56 kilos. That was in 2003. Good speed, terrific speed.
Yes, he definitely looks much better at this weight, doesn't he? So that's 127 and the lead for him. But of course, still a lot of lifting to come.
Gigal also weighing in pretty heavy, 61.93, the second heaviest of the class. But as we said, he just looks such a more, well, he's a happier man. From Turkmenistan. And interestingly enough, that his teammate was the best of the B group with a total of 272. So he'll be seriously embarrassed if he doesn't surpass that.
So 130k, first attempt. Good speed, solid.
And achieving an opening on a weight which he has consistently produced. He was 7th in the worlds in Canada in 2003, 132.5, and he's been around that mark, 130, 132.5 now for some time. So it's going to be very interesting to see where he can take himself today. Two of them stick around for a long time. So Gigal now.
Yes, Gigal taking 131, so a 4 kilo jump for him. Very good.
And this is in his compass. Two Chinese lifters who entered totals of 320. That's their ambition. Gigal with a 300 total, so that just indicates the gulf. Angelov, Sevdalim Angelov Minchev, he also entered 300, so technically he and Gigal could be, on paper at least, vying for that overall bronze medal, but
he needs to get this though. He needs to stay in touch, doesn't he?
Absolutely, because I'd say in any case I'd put my money on Gigal. He's on the upward curve. I fear that this man is on the downward turn.
And I think that confirms it. He's really not the man that we've seen in the past.
So he ends with 125.
No, Gigal's on
133.
33, so. Yeah, so 3 good lifts.
Terrific. Could be good enough for the bronze medal on the snatch, because by virtue of lighter body weight he would nip ahead of Gigal, but Gigal probably got his eyes on the big prize perhaps. So arguably this for the snatch bronze medal, with the two Chinese lifters yet to come. Something to look forward to. Now, what can we tell you? Well, we can tell you that Kg Snatch is 22. We can tell you that Zhang Ping is 26. I can tell you that both men have entered a total of 320. Zhang Ping weighed in at 61.82. Kg Snatch at 61.14.
So 135. Just a shade under 300 pounds, and he makes it look easy. He's got a bit of attitude as well. I like that.
That's Kg Lee. Just could well be, David, that one of these men will dominate the snatch, the other one will be the master of the clean and jerk. We saw that this afternoon in the women's 53 kilo class, where the Thai lifter was certainly dominating the first phase, but the Chinese woman came back to take the overall. Now here's the older of the two Chinese lifters, Zhang Ping, 135 again, and the heavier. They're both pretty imposing figures.
China are having a very good championship so far, in the men and the women.
Who will be king?
Well, they both look pretty impressive.
Punch and counter punch. Welcome to the Chinese National Championships. It is this enormous reservoir of talent that, quite frankly, no other country in the world can match. So 141, the world record is 153 kilos, which is a frightening weight when you consider that these men all weigh under 62 kilos. Not surprisingly, that 153 is owned by a Chinaman. And Chinese lifters are really dominating. Shi Ziyong holds the record on 153, but just at the moment, Kg Lee with 141. 141.
So what can his teammate do? Let's see the response.
Well, it'd be interesting if he goes for 141 and they put it right down to the last lift. Kg Lee seems to be very, very confident.
Well, they both do.
Coaches are getting involved in this as well. My man against your man. I have a feeling that this is the man who might prevail in the clean and jerk.
Well, he's taking 42.
Well, because he is the heavier. So he needs to do this to put himself into...
punch and counter punch.
Yeah.
The beauty is they both know exactly what they've got to do each time. Oh, that was impressive. That was impressive. Yeah. He's got that look. I like it.
And now what is the next move?
Yeah, follow that.
Same weight, 142 kilograms.
And I must say, David, these two guys, they really look the part, don't they? Fine physique.
Physiques, good, fantastic technicians, great power, good attitudes.
Two types of hunger in this sport. The hunger you feel when you're waiting to weigh in all day, and then the hunger when you get on stage to win.
144 kilos and now this is for Kg Lee, China. Third and last attempt in snatch.
So 144.
Well, you'd think that both would know about the other, or each of them, I should say, would know about the other.
So
perhaps not quite so many smiles. This is now getting a little bit more serious, but I don't know.
Well, I'd love him to do this, because then it means his teammate would have to come out on 145. So it's always good to take it down to the wire, which we're is exactly what's going to happen. Follow that.
Well, these two victories in the women's competition so far, and this looks, unless something really bizarre would happen, is another title heading towards China.
So 145, David, is the weight needed now for the Chinese teammate. I don't know if he's a teammate at the moment. It's a team member.
Yeah, last night's 56 kilo title going to Wang of Taipei. So it's everything being dominated by lifters at the moment in these early couple of days of the championships. Lifters from one particular region. Now 145. So this for a 1 kilo advantage and the snatch gold medal. The bronze, Jigao's got that. Kui Li watches on. Will it be gold or will it be silver? I'm afraid for Kui Li it's going to be silver.
Great snatching, fantastic lift.
And what you're looking at is not only just terrific strength, but fantastic technique.
Good speed, everything's right. He's got it all, hasn't he?
Well, this is just lifting of the highest quality, of the highest class. Just amazing. Well, 145, it is Zhang Ping, 26 years of age, from China, who takes the gold ahead of Kui Li, 22 years of age, from China, with Adrian Jigao of Romania, the best of the Europeans, in the bronze medal position. But the difference, well, it's enormous. 145 kilos, 144 kilos, and then 133. And there it is. Pity that Bazabayev couldn't have lifted 133. That would have been interesting. Pity that Angelov seems a shadow of his former self. But nonetheless, that was really enjoyable between the two Chinese lifters, and more of that, please, in the second half. 3 out of 3. And look at that, the top 3 men, well, they deserve to be there. Not a mistake.